Unit 4 Microcontroller Fundamentals for Basic Programming. So in this unit we are going to discuss about basics of the microcontroller, that is TM4C123 GH6PM. Here first topic, general purpose input and output pins. If you look at the IC that contains multiple pins, among them some of the pins are used as general purpose, either input pin or output pin. In this microcontroller, the same pin is also used for performing the special functions. So this TM4C123GH6PM contains 6 physical GPIO blocks, each corresponding to an individual general purpose input and output port, that is port A, port B, port C, port D, port E and port F. So in this, port A contains 8 pins, port B contains 8 pins, port C contains 8 pins, port D contains 8 pins, port E contains 6 pins, port F contains 5 pins. Totally 43 general purpose input and output pins. Depend upon the application, we may use these pins. These are highly flexible pin multiplexing. Multiplexing in the sense we can use multiple purposes. Allows either we can use input and output pins or special functions. So if you look at the pin diagram of TM4C123GH6PM, in that we are already discussed, it contains 6 ports, that is port A, next port B, port C and port D, port E, port F. So some of the pins check here. Port A pin, the 17th pin, that is used as input pin, output pin and also used as universal UART 0 receiver. Similarly, pin 18, that is also used as port A1. That means it can receive the data, transmit the data, or and also used for UART 0 transmitting pin. UART 0 transmitting pin. Similarly, port A2, this pin is also used for input and output pin as well as synchronous serial interface clock. Synchronous serial interface 0 clock pin. Like that, the 43 pins we are used as either input pin for receiving the data or output pin for transmitting the data and also used for special functions, either UART 0 receiver, UART 0 transmitter, either synchronous serial interface 0 clock signal, similarly 0F. So like that, various peripherals, USB peripherals, I2C peripherals, either serial data line, serial clock line, either software interrupts, either timer devices, a timer clock, switch clock, or like that. We can use different purposes, that is depends upon the application. So check this architecture of the pin internal architecture. This IO pin we can use it as input pin, means reading the port, input pin means, or use it as output pin for writing the data into the external devices, or special functions, that is analog to digital conversion. Depends upon our requirement. The same IO pin we are used as input pin, means reading the data from input pin, that pin, and output pin means writing the data into the output pins, as well as used for converting the analog information into digital information. Like that, we can use the same pin in the IC. So these pins will be controlled by using the registers. So first we need to select that pin is input pin or output pin. By default, the pin is used as input pin, means receiving the data. If you want to use that pin as the output pin at that time, by giving 1 to the GPIO DIR, means GPIO direction register, if you are giving 1, that pin is used as the output pin. By default, that pin is used as input pin. Whenever we want to use that pin as output pin, at that time, that GPIO direction register value is 1. By giving the value 1 to that register, we can use that pin as output pin. Once we can give the direction by using the GPIO data register, we can, if it is input pin, that data register receive the data from input pin. If it is output register, output pin, this register write the data into the output pin. Next, so again we need to check when the interrupts are enabled, either edges from rising edge or falling edge or high level or low level. We need to define. By default, the GPIO interrupt sense register detect the interrupts at edges, either rising edge or falling edge. If you want to trigger the interrupts at levels, either high level or low level, at that time, we need to give one value to the GPIO interrupt sense register. If you are giving 1 to the GPIO interrupt sense register 1, we can trigger the interrupt at either high level or low level. Once we can define that one, where we need to enable either edges or levels. If we are, by default it is edges, we can trigger the interrupts at edges. Whenever you want to trigger the interrupts at the levels, then only this value is 1. Once define that one, we can use the interrupt event register, GPIO interrupt event register. If it is edges, that value 0 means the interrupt is triggered at falling edge. The interrupt is triggered at falling edge. If it is 1, if you are giving 1 means we are triggering the interrupt at rising edge. If you are giving value 1 to the interrupt event register, that indicates we are triggering the interrupt at rising edge. Similarly, if it giving the interrupt sense, that is level trigger interrupts, that value 0 means we are triggering the interrupt at either low level, 0 means low level, 1 means high level. First, we need to check where we need to trigger the interrupts, edges or levels. If it is edges, the interrupt event register value 0 means the interrupts are triggered at falling edge. If it register value is 1 means the interrupts are triggered at 1 means rising edge, 0 means falling edge. Similarly, if the interrupts are triggered at levels, either 0 means low level, 1 means high level triggered interrupts. If you want to trigger the interrupts at both edges, rising edge and falling edge, at that time this value becomes 1. If you are giving 1 to this register, we can trigger the interrupt at both edges. Rising edge, you can trigger the interrupts. Falling edge, we can trigger the interrupts. Next, suppose if you are using that pin as alt special function, at that time we can use GPIO alternate function select. By giving value 1 or corresponding whatever the pin we want to use, by giving the value this one, we can enable the special function in the IO pin. Next, by using the port control, we can control the ports. There are two types of controls, pad control and commit control. This pad control the pins or allows the software to configure the GPIO pads based on the application requirements. That means we can select the pull-up resistor in the IO pin. We can select the pull-down resistor. We can enable the digital inputs. We can control the slew rate. We can select the open drain configuration by giving value this one. We can improve the strength, that is 2 milliamperes, 4 milliamperes, or 8 milliamperes. We can control the drive strength by using this corresponding resistors. The pad control registers allow software to configure the GPIO pads based on the application requirements. Means we can select the pull-up resistor, pull-down resistor, enable the digital inputs, control the slew rate, select the open drain configuration, control the drive strength by using the pad control registers. Next, commit control means these are used to provide the protection against accidental programming of critical hardware peripherals. That means if you are locking the pins, we are not modify the either registers, either alternate function select. We cannot write the data into these registers once it is locked. If it is unlocked, then only we can we can select the alternate function in the pin, or we can select the pull-up register, pull-down register, enable the digital inputs. Whenever this is unlocked, this GPIO pin is unlocked, then only we can write the data. Like that, it provides the security to the pins. Once we are locking means the pins are not write the data. We can't write the data into the pins. Next, protection is provided for the GPIO pins that can be used as the 4 JTAG pins and non-maskable interrupt pins. So non-maskable interrupt means that is not possible to hide the interrupts, not possible to masking the interrupts. Immediately the interrupt will be occurred. Next, pull up and pull down resistors. Means we are using resistors to pull up the voltage or down the voltage. Means based on our requirement, we can set the logic voltage levels into the desired level. We can increase the voltage by using the resistor, by using pull-up resistors, or decrease the voltage by using the pull-down resistors. That depends upon our requirement. So pull-up and pull-down resistors are used to maintain the proper logic levels at the input pins of microcontroller, under all conditions. So generally they have 3 states: logic high, logic low, and floating state. Generally logic circuits contains logic high, logic low, or floating state. So the high impedance state occurs whenever pin is not pulled to the logic high or logic low, but is left floating in state. So first, this is the figure A. This is here we are using pull-up resistor to maintain the constant, increase the voltages. Here, whenever the switch is closed, what happens with the switch is closed? Whatever the VCC we are giving here, that is go to the ground. That means we are giving logic low to the input GPIO pin in the microcontroller unit. MCU means microcontroller unit. In this figure, whenever the switch is closed, the VCC goes to the ground. That means the voltage giving here, that is logic low, is giving to the IO pin in the microcontroller unit. If you want to increase the voltage, the switch needs to be opened. Means whenever the switch is opened, whatever the VCC we are giving, that VCC is giving to the IO pin in the microcontroller unit. That means we are giving logic high. We are giving logic high to the IO pin by opening the switch. If resistor is not there, means these inputs will be floating when switch is open. If there is no resistor and switch is open, means that is floating state. Next. So in this second figure, when the switch is closed, the microcontroller input is logic high. So see this figure, in the second figure. If switch is closed, means what happens? Whatever the VCC, that is going to the ground and giving logic low. So when switch is closed, the microcontroller input is at logic high. When switch is open, the pull-up resistor pulls the input voltage to the ground. So preventing the undefined state at the input. So like that we can reduce the voltage. Switch is closed means the microcontroller is at logic high. Switch is open means pull down resistor pulls the input voltage down to the ground and preventing the undefined state at input. So these are used as the maintain constant level when pull up and pull down resistors are used when interfacing a switch or some other peripherals, either analog digital conversions or DMA, whatever the peripherals we want to interfacing with our microcontroller. At that time we can use the pull up and pull down resistors. So this can be activated, these resistors, pull up and pull down resistors, these will be activated by giving value to the corresponding resistors. So GPIO pull up resistor and GPIO pull down resistors. By giving value to these resistors, we can enable the pull up resistor and pull down resistors. So where we are using? So whenever we want to interfacing our external peripherals with microcontrollers, at that time we can use pull up and pull down resistors. So interfacing of switches or other input devices with microcontroller. Similarly, analog to digital conversions provide a controlled control flow into the resistive sensor or I2C bus, inter-integrated circuit bus. While interfacing these peripherals with the microcontroller, at that time we are using the pull up and pull down resistors. Next, memory mapped peripherals. So memory means store the information. Peripherals means different devices like input device or output devices or analog to digital conversions, direct memory access, watchdog timers, clocks, comparators. Like there are different peripherals available in the microcontroller or external peripherals. So whenever we want to interfacing with microcontroller, we need to assign some address to those peripherals. Whenever we want to interface these peripherals with the microcontroller, at that time we need to give some address. Like if you want to communicate with through mobile, I require mobile number. If I want to communicate with you through mail, I require corresponding mail ID, either Gmail, Yahoo Mail, Hotmail, whatever may be. Or if I want to interact directly with you, at that time I need to know where you are staying, where you are available. I need to interact with you. That address I required. So that is the thing here. So we are mapping the memory to the peripherals. Mapping the memory to the peripherals. So there are two complementary methods of addressing the IO devices and peripherals. One is memory mapped input and output ports, input devices, and port mapped IO. Memory mapped IO, port mapped IO. So in the memory mapped IO devices and peripherals are mapped into the system memory, means common space. They are giving common address space for memory and peripherals. In memory mapped IO, we are giving common address space to the peripherals and memory. The control signals used for memory operations and IO operations are same. So in the port mapped PMIO, IO devices and peripherals are mapped into separate address space. In port mapped PMIO, in port mapped IO devices and peripherals are mapped into a separate address space. Means there is separate address space for memory and IO ports. Here we are using different control signals are used for memory and IO operations. So for TM4C microcontroller, all peripheral devices, timers and the analog conversions are mapped as the memory mapped IO in address space from 4000 40s to 400F1 FF. So see here. So how we are memory mapping? So since it is a 32-bit microcontroller, its address range is 1 GB, 2 power 32. 2 power 32 bytes means 1 GB. In that 1 GB address, how we are assigning the address to the each peripherals? First, flash memory. So this is starting address is 0. Ending address is depends upon the flash memory capacity. If it is 256 kilobytes, 0 plus 256 kilobytes. That means 0 to 3 FF. Next, in the TM4C123 microcontroller we are discussing. Next, RAM. This RAM address is starting from 2000 40s to, based on the RAM capacity, it will varies. So 2000 40s plus 2007 FF. 2 power 32 means 7 FF. Next, we are assigning the address to the IO ports. How? Starting address is 4000 40s to 400F FF. 5 Fs in the sense 5 4s 20 means 1 MB. We are assigning 1 MB memory to this IO ports here. Next, for internal peripherals, the starting address is E000 40s and the ending address is depends upon the IO peripherals capacity. That is, here we are assigning 256 kilobytes plus 16 kilobytes. Totally 272, I think, kilobytes. We are assigning the address for internal and IO and private peripheral bus. Like that, we are assigning TM4C123 GH6PM. So first, for flash memory, the starting address 0, ending address that depends upon the flash memory capacity. Similarly, RAM starting address is 2000 40s. Ending address based on the RAM capacity 2000 40s plus this capacity, that is 2007F FF. Similarly, for IO ports, starting address 40s 4000 40s to 400F 4Fs. Similarly, for internal peripherals, the starting address is E000 40s to E004 1FF. Similarly, in the TM4C129 series family of microcontrollers, starting address of the flash memory is 0, same like this. Starting address is same. That ending address is depends upon the that peripherals capacity. In the flash memory for our TM4C123 129 families, that is 1 MB, so 0 to 1 MB, that means 5 Fs. RAM starting address is 2000 40s, ending address plus this RAM capacity. So IO port starting address 4000 40s, ending address here they are taking 1 MB for IO ports. Similarly, internal peripherals, they are assigning the same memory capacity. Starting address E000 40s, ending address E001 E004 1 FF. So these are the address range of various peripherals in the TM4C123 GH6PM. So for watchdog timers, 0. It contains 2 watchdog timers. watchdog timer 0, starting address is 400, 400, 4 zeros to 4000 0 triple F. Similarly, remaining all peripherals. Like that, we are mapping the watchdog time, different peripherals available in our microcontroller. We are mapping the various peripherals like the starting address and ending address. Pulse width modulation, GPIO ports, timers, conversions, analog digital conversions, CAN controller, comparators, GPIO ports. Like this, we are assigning this one in the TM4C123 GH6P.